see a child play, and it is so close to seeing an artist paint. For in play, a child says things without uttering a word. You can see how he solves his problems. You can also see what's wrong. Young children especially have enormous creativity, and whatever is in them rises to the surface in free play. Hi, I'm Erikson. While I have been working in Vienna, I decided to pursue the study of psychoanalysis. While attending school at Vienna Psychoanalytic Institute, I decided to study child development. Child development really interested me because while I was studying this field, it was taught through the Montessori method, which focuses mainly on the developmental stages of a child's life. There was a bunch of creativity and free play at this school. While I've done all my schooling, I have never actually gotten a formal degree in it. I credit all of my knowledge to the experiences I've had with children and all of the readings that I've done. In 1930, I married Joanne Serson. Between us, we have raised 3 children together. Later on, we decided to move to Boston. While in Boston, I became the first male to study child psychoanalysis in the area. I was blown away that I was the only male that has actually gotten to do this. I served many places, such as Harvard Medical School and their psychological clinic. Throughout the years of 1936 through 1939, I worked as a professor at Yale School of Medicine. We decided to relocate to California in 1939. While in California, I continued to work with children in many different settings. I finally decided for our family to reside in Massachusetts, where I focused on the interaction with emotionally challenged youth, which is where I'm speaking to you from today. I would like to think that I've had a huge contribution to psychology. I think I'm widely known for my learning theory called the psychosocial theory of development. This theory, in a nutshell, means that people develop their personality through many stages of life. Within this theory of development, I concluded that children do not complete each stage on a schedule. It is thought that children go through life's challenges, and how they handle them decides whether they have moved on to the next stage of development or not. Say, I could have a experience way earlier or later on in life compared to someone else, and that's going to depend and set me on which stage of life that I'm in. So now I will explain each stage of my theory to you. The first stage of my theory occurs during infancy, and this is trust versus mistrust. This stage states that an infant develops trust with their caregiver, or something will happen and make them have mistrust with the caregiver, therefore making the baby view the world as a scary place. The second stage occurs during early childhood, and this is autonomy versus shame or doubt. In this stage of development, children obtain either a confidence of independence or shame. The third stage occurs during preschool years, which is initiative versus guilt. Within this stage, children realize they can do things on their own, giving them independence. Sometimes, though, they are made to feel guilty for their choices, which can lead to a sense of guilt. The fourth stage occurs during the school-age years, which is industry versus inferiority. Children compare themselves to other classmates during this stage, and that determines their sense of work ethic or lack thereof. The fifth stage occurs during adolescence, which is identity versus role confusion. In this stage, people begin to recognize their roles in the world, such as what they represent in the world when it comes to religion, politics, occupation, and etc. The sixth stage of development occurs during early adulthood, which is intimacy versus isolation. During this stage, people develop strong relationships between friends and even find a spouse. Those who do not make these bonds during this stage may fall into isolation. The seventh stage is middle-aged generativity versus stagnation. Most people will learn and realize their purpose for life during this stage, whether it's parenting or their career. The eighth and final stage of my theory is set in the old age, which is ego integrity versus despair. Elder people will either look back on their life and feel very accomplished, or they'll look back and feel intense regret on what their life could have been but was not. Now, to conclude my side of the debate, I'm going to give some tips to elementary teachers of how you can apply my theories to the classroom. One way that you can apply this to the classroom is through initiative. You can help provide students with the option to make choices that will lead them to success, as well as letting them know that they're going to make mistakes and that it's okay to make mistakes. The second thing that you can do as a teacher for the elementary classroom is to keep the fourth stage of industry in mind when you are teaching. You can help set realistic goals for your students to achieve, and once they do achieve those goals, you're going to give them a boost of confidence they didn't know that they had. And the third and final thing a teacher can do to help your students in the classroom has to do with the fifth stage of identity and roles. Give your students classroom jobs to do. Give them the job of throwing away the trash, cleaning up the room, erasing the whiteboard. Just give them something they're responsible for. Now, while I think that my theory is the best out there, some people have pointed out some cons to me, which I've never considered, but I'm going to start with the pros. The first pro that I think is that it seems to hit a milestone in everyone's life. This is basically an outline of where you should be at in your life, but don't get me wrong, a con someone has pointed out to me is that if they don't achieve this set goal, they can feel very discouraged and just upset that they're not at that spot in their life. But don't get me wrong, people go through different things, go through different experiences at different times in life, so not everyone's going to stay on track. But I think my learning theory is the best, and I really hope that you vote for me for this award. Thank you.